Hey guys, I'm at the supermarket right now, and I'm here because I need some chicken. I'm gonna make some barbecue chicken, my favorite. Um, this video is pretty much a depression update. You know, um, if you follow me or watch my videos, if you scroll down to long ago, I was giving you this journey of my depression and just educating people on what I know and what I've been educated in as far as mental health. And I'm currently having a depressive episode, meaning my energy, I know when it's coming on. Medication I take and it works, but medication is not a cure for depression. It just simply helps you manage your symptoms. It helps you to have more energy. It helps you to not to think, to not have like intrusive thoughts, or to have you concentrate better. It helps you to be more relaxed, and it helps you to be better functioning versus just having a chemical imbalance, and it's like you have nothing to help you to keep your mood correct. Because basically what it is that someone with depression, the chemical imbalance is serotonin that regulates your mood. So when you have like an imbalanced level of that, if it's too low, then that's why you have depression. Low vibes, low energy, sadness, unhappiness. Most of the time, everything is probably going okay in your life around you immediately, but but you still have this imbalance, and it's something that you take medication to balance and regulate. So it's not a cure, but it's definitely to manage. And for me, it's been really managing well, but I don't know what happened, but like I said, it's not a cure. You can still have like depressive episodes, but this episode is not as bad as how I used to be when I was like on meds that didn't work, when I wasn't on meds at all. This depressive episode is actually just low energy. I just feel low energy, and I make sure to use my energy wisely. Long time ago, when I first, for example, didn't know that I had depression, I got diagnosed in 2015, depression, anxiety, social anxiety. Before, I didn't know, and when I did find out and wasn't, I was fully educated, because when you have this, you learn more as you go, as the years go by. You learn your symptoms, you learn your triggers, you learn when you're having an episode, you know when you're lifted from the episode, you learn all these different things. And so I was learning as I went, and what I was doing was I wasn't coping too well. Like when I would have episodes that were very bad, when I was just like not on the right medication, and when I still didn't know too much about my depression and what it does to me, and how does it affect me. I was having a hard time managing it, meaning I would just give into it, and I would just like stay in bed for days at a time, no showering, no brushing my teeth. It's something that makes you very, very unmotivated, and it makes you not want to get up in the morning. It makes you not want to do anything. So sometimes you'll hear people say, oh, I went days without showering. Even people that are like public figures I know, like for example, Monique Slaughter from Love and Hip Hop. She was like, her depression, the way her episodes happen is she like actually loses a lot of weight. I gain weight, and sometimes I lose too. Particularly this particular med makes me lose weight because I don't have much of an appetite, but that's not bad because I want to lose weight anyway. she was saying that she would go days without showering, and she just wouldn't get out of bed, because what it does is that it makes you feel unmotivated. It makes you feel low in mood, low in energy. Your mood is irritable. You're irritable. It's easy to make you mad. It's easy to make you irate. You feel fatigued, and so that's why people want to stay in bed. And if you're like, that's why people with depression have issues sometimes with self-care, because a person without depression can spring up and in full energy or even half energy and go brush their teeth, take a shower, something simple like that. But somebody with depression, that's like moving a mountain, because your body is already like on no. Your body and your mind is telling you no, but and so you submit to that no, and you lay down and you don't do anything. But what I've learned, that's why I thank Jehovah so much, because spirituality and my psychiatrist, he's a really great psychiatrist. It took me a while to find him, because I had a psychiatrist, the one that first diagnosed me. She pretty much couldn't get my meds right, so I had to kind of leave her and get a new one. And so he's a guy, Dr. Miller. He's awesome. He's actually from Africa, but he's white. He's white as my car, but he's from Africa. And he managed to get me on some good meds that really helped me. That's why this episode is not like my past episodes. I got up and showered this morning. I brushed my teeth. I went and delivered something to my sister's house that she needed for a gathering. I was supposed to go to the gathering, but you got to preserve your energy. If you low in energy already, you have to kind of pick and choose what you do so that you won't drain yourself or like pass out, because you're low in energy. So I'm just low in energy right now. But that's basically how I used to handle it, just giving into it and allowing it to kind of run my life. But how much I've grown spiritually and understanding my life and understanding myself more, I approach it differently. Like, I decided to approach it differently. I'm not gonna neglect myself. I'm gonna get up. I'm going to do what I know I'm supposed to do, which is take care of myself, self-care. And I'm gonna do what's necessary, such as go to my meetings. And because another thing depression does is that you feel like you want to isolate yourself. You feel like you don't want to talk to anybody. You shut down. You don't want to be around anyone, pretty much. That's why I'm not going to this gathering, but it's to preserve my energy for other things. You pretty much just get out of your room to eat, and then you go right back to bed. So for me, my new approach is going to be to not only self-care, but go out, even if it's one trip to wherever, just get out and see the sun. The sun has vitamin D, it helps your mood. You just have to not submit to what I've learned. You just have to rebel against it. And but understand you do have limitations. Don't overdo it and burn yourself out. But you can start with like just simple things, like say to yourself, okay, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna brush my teeth and I'm going to take a shower, and it's kind of like dark. I'm going to take a shower, and I'm just gonna sit in my bed. And for me, what helps me is like when I go home, it's like a bunch of scriptures in mind that I have that I'm going to read, and those things keep me really, really lighthearted instead of feeling loaded down, which is what depression can do. It makes you feel loaded down. And so I'm thankful that my episode is not as bad as it used to be. That's how I know the meds are doing what it's supposed to do. But like I said, it's not a cure. So you will have episodes, you will be up and down, but you won't have episodes as frequent as if you get on good meds, you won't have episodes as frequent as you used to, and your episodes will be less severe. So I don't have a severe episode right now. I'm just drained. Like, I'm not drained, but just low in energy. So yeah, I just choose a different approach. You know, I'm not gonna lay in bed and neglect myself. Self-care is the priority. I think anybody out there who suffers from any form of mental illness, it affects your self-care generally. I think all mental illnesses does that. So first thing you want to do is know that, okay, self-care, that's me. I got to take care of me. So just 2 things, just showering and getting up and brushing your teeth is a start. You do that every day, twice a day. And, you know, you do things like read scriptures, empowering things that will keep your mind lifted and your heart strong and courageous, because this is something that, you know, a disease that people really don't recognize as a disease to this day, because there's a lot of lack of mental health awareness. You know, people think that, oh, you're sad, just get over it. We've reached a point where people understand now mental health is a serious thing, but back in the day, I remember people just would, you know, were very ignorant of it. And I've had people like my lawyer and my one of my lawyer, he said to me, you don't look depressed. And, you know, he doesn't know, and he's a lawyer. So it's like, what does a depressed person look like? Somebody who's depressed can go to the bar and turn up with his friends and have a big smile on his face and then hang himself the next day. You know, depression doesn't have a look. There's a lot of people out there that have smiles on their faces, and behind, they're like dying inside. You know what I mean? You don't know what people are going through just because you see somebody smiling. And the best thing that we love to do is say, if you ask us, are you okay? I'm okay. We love to say that, but I don't say that anymore, because I've learned to just be honest and open, and if I'm not okay, I'm not okay. And how I'm feeling right now, I'm actually okay, because like I said, my episode is not severe, so I'm actually okay. But just be mental health awareness, you know, savvy. If you, for example, suspect that you might have a mental illness or have depression, like you're just sad all the time, you're low in energy, your thoughts are racing, you're anxious all the time, you just think the worst, you're apprehensive, you know, it's okay. The same way you get regular checkups by a PCP, which is a primary care physician, for your, you know, checkup, your bodily checkup, your mind needs checkups too. So it's okay to go to a psychiatrist, and because that's the doctor of the mind, and they'll basically ask you questions, and you'll either leave with a diagnosis or some type of counsel as to what to do. And if you leave with a diagnosis, it's good, because now you know what's wrong, like what's been going on with you, and then you can start to treat it. Because just how, for example, someone has the pancreas, it doesn't produce enough insulin to regulate the blood sugar, so people have like hyperglycemia. That's type 1 diabetes. So diabetes, people are dependent on insulin, especially type 1, because type 1 is not even caused by like external factors like weight, etc. That's like more type 2. Type 1 is when the person is born with a pancreas that is not functioning how it's supposed to, meaning that pancreas doesn't excrete or give enough insulin, which keeps your blood sugar leveled out and where it's supposed to be. So they're prone to have like a high blood sugar. If they don't get insulin, they're going to always be in hyperglycemia mode, and they can die. So the same way somebody needs insulin and they get their insulin after, you know, before each meal, they take their insulin. It's the same way somebody with depression, they take their meds. The same way people have high blood pressure, and if they don't take their blood pressure medication, you might get a heart attack in the future. That it's the same way somebody with depression needs their meds. So, you know, we all have flaws, and we all have things that we go through, and we're no different from the other, you know. Everybody's on some type of medication, and if you're not, God bless you, because you know you don't have to do anything with take medication. But even people who don't take medication, there's still things like stress and just daily living that we deal with that can make us just sad, or make us like stressed, or make us kind of not have a not so good day, you know what I mean? So all in all, we all have things that we deal with, and sometimes we have to medicate, and it's a good thing. Why would you choose to suffer because of what? Shame, stigma, like that's why it's important to educate yourself, so that if someone says something ignorant, you understand it's their ignorance, not yours. Because I had to educate my lawyer. My lawyer is a lawyer, and I'm a nurse, so I don't know law. I can't tell him about law. He can educate me about law. I'm the nurse, so I can educate him about depression. So I sent him an email, just explaining what depression, looks like, and that it doesn't have a look. And I'm gonna put what I sent him to you guys. Actually, I sent it in an email to him, and when I sent it to him, he got it. And so I'm gonna put it up so you can understand what somebody with depression, how they feel like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm in front of the supermarket, and I'm gonna go get me some chicken. I'm really excited about like cooking, because I love barbecue. Honey barbecue chicken is my favorite food. That's why I'm always making it. So I'm gonna do that, and God is good. He's so good, and today's gonna be a really good day, because although my energy is kind of low, I'm still happy and content, and I'm not like the past. I actually am managing very well, better, So like I said, mental health awareness. I forgot the month, that mental health awareness is a specific month for it, but mental health awareness should be 24/7. I feel like the same way people go to the doctor for yearly checkups for the body, I think that the FDA or the CDC should come out with something, or the WHO, World Health Organization, should come out with something where, we're required to go come out and advise like mental health checkups as well yearly, Don't sleep on that, because the mind is like, if this is not right, then you're not moving. You can't do anything. So I just wanted to check in with you guys and tell you where I'm at with it, what's going on, and just to help somebody else who may be going through the same thing, to know it's okay. If you feel a certain type of way, go to the doctor. Go to the psychiatrist, because you have to start with a psychiatrist. A psychologist can give you therapy, but the psychiatrist is the medical doctor that will tell you and diagnose you. The psychologist can't diagnose you. And a lot of times people have depression because of trauma. Maybe they were sexually abused. Maybe they were neglected as a child. Maybe they were unfortunately raped. Maybe, a lot of people have a lot of childhood issues and a lot of problems that make them depressed. So that's why with the meds, the doctor always says, I would recommend therapy as well, because therapy helps you to talk and release. Because if you don't talk, you're going to suppress it, and when you suppress it and bury it, you're going to snap one day, and the person that you snap on is going to be like, well, what did I do? But they don't know it has nothing to do with you. But it has everything to do with what you've been holding on inside for so long. You know what I mean? In order to have a healthy life, you have to learn to communicate, and you have to learn to express your feelings and express yourself. You know what I mean? So I've learned to openly communicate and express myself, and not isolate myself. Don't isolate yourself. Try as much as you can to get out at least once. A lot of times too, when we get into these episodes, we don't text, we don't call, we just go ghost. But I'm gonna be texting my friends back, because I'm not going to give into it how I used to. I'm much stronger than back in the day, and you can build up to that. You just have to keep Jehovah first, and you just have to be proactive with your health, mentally and physically. So comment down below, you know, if you have anything that you want to express, or if you're going through an episode, or if you have any questions, just let me know and I'll answer to my best ability, you know. And so I'm gonna go to the grocery store now, and I'm going to get my chicken because I want to make my favorite food. So I'll check in with you guys later, and I'll show you the email I sent to both my lawyers. I sent it to them because my other lawyer said the same thing. You don't look depressed. You're beautiful. Your nails are done. You look, baby. Listen, before someone commits suicide, I'm not suicidal. I don't want to do that. I love myself, so no, that's not where I'm at. But there are people that are suicidal, and right before suicide, actually what you learn in school is, in nursing school, right before a suicide happens, usually 24 hours before, that person is the best, most happiest, most interactive person ever. That person is basically interactive with the family, happy, you know. So you think that's basically their goodbye, and then the next day it happens. That's a clear, like when someone's really depressed and they just start getting, you just see them just change their mood like this, because it takes time to like get to like a point where you're out of the episode. So if you see them move like this and they're like so happy, and yeah, that's when you should be afraid, and you need to like pay attention and stay with that person, because usually that's the common sign of someone that's really pretty much like saying their farewell, and they're like gone and ready to do what they have to do, or what they feel they have to do, like the next day. So I have to get some gel. So yeah, you know, you just have to, and it's like, you don't even have to go to school to learn this stuff. Just go on Google, and you know, different organizations like the World Health Organization, the FDA, the CDC, you know, where we get information about diseases that come out. WHO, they talk about different things and show you like signs and symptoms and suggestions. Like you can go on Google and just Google certain things about it, and you can learn a lot, and you can read, and you can choose like reliable health sources, and you will learn so much. And jw.org, if you type in depression, that's a great place to go and look up like what it is, and you know, what can be done and stuff like that. So I've been on jw.org before and typed in depression into the search box, and all these articles came up, you know. So and jw.org is a reliable source. Also, you know, WHO, World Health Organization, you know, Healthline, Mayo Clinic, you know, things, people like, you know, sites like that you can rely on. So I'm gonna see you guys later. Oh, and I forgot one more thing. You gotta stay hydrated. You gotta stay hydrated. You know, make sure you have your water. That's very important. I'm about to enter this loud store, so I'll catch y'all later. Hey, how you doing? Pardon me, I'm part of you infinitely. Oh, baby, 'cause you'll always be my baby. Yo, they are playing Mariah Carey in here, and I'm like really happy because I love that song. I like that song. I made some chicken and ground. So I just got me some chicken and ground beef because I'm gonna be making spaghetti like later. Now I'm looking for honey from my honey barbecue. Honey. I'm looking for the cheapest one because I don't need a lot. Why are these honeys so expensive though? This is like ridiculous. Look at that, $1.19, and that's exactly what I'm gonna get. I thought something was in my eye. I just left a voicemail to my friend. She also suffers from depression, and there's this gathering today that we were all supposed to go to, but I'm not going because I'm trying to preserve my energy. And my sister, she called me and was like, you know, my friend isn't going. My other sister isn't going. And so I know she struggles with depression, so I think my mind is telling me that. And I called her and it went straight to voicemail. So a lot of times people with depression, we kind of don't answer phone calls, we don't text, we don't, it's nothing personal. It's just that we're just dealing with us. So I called her and I told her that I love her and that, I was just checking on her. And I told her, you don't have to, call me when you get a chance. It doesn't have to be today. It doesn't have to be tomorrow. Whenever you feel like you can, whenever you want to. Because like I said, when you're going through an episode, you pretty much isolate yourself, and people text you, you see the text, you don't respond. People call you, you don't respond. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where I get it. So and I told her, if that's not why you're answering, if you're just busy or whatever, cool. But if it's because you're going through something similar to what I'm going through, just know that I love you and I'm here for you. And she don't have to call me today or tomorrow, because I know how I am. People text me, I answer like maybe probably 6 days later. That's if I even text at all. Sometimes I just don't text, and the next time that the person sees me is when we talk. So I get it. So I mean, I would say, like, if you have a family member or a friend that suffers from depression, don't take it personal if they don't return your phone calls. Don't take it personal if they don't call you back. Don't take it personal if they basically seem like they've ghosted you. We haven't ghosted you. Really, we're going through something that you don't understand, that makes you feel a certain way that you don't understand, and you don't feel how we feel. So it would be hard to understand why we're like isolating ourselves. But just know that if you have a family member, or if you have a spouse or a boyfriend or a girlfriend that has depression, and they go ghost, or they don't want to talk, or they're not answering their phone calls, or they're not calling back, if you don't feel like they're in immediate danger, if you feel like it's like you've seen these things before, then just know that one of the symptoms is isolation. We isolate ourselves. We don't answer phones. We don't want to talk because we're not in the mood. And your mood is irritable. We're irate. And it's like we just don't want to deal with nobody. Like, I know that yesterday and the day before, I just didn't want to deal with nothing, nobody. I just was in my bed, and I was just like there, and I had text messages and I just wasn't answering. So it's nothing personal, because it's not that we don't want to answer. It's just that we're too sad to answer. We're too low in energy and just feeling hopeless, too hopeless to imagine somebody feeling hopeless. Like, you're just at the lowest level. So communicating with someone takes energy, and it takes time to concentrate. And imagine feeling hopeless, low in energy, down, sad, fatigued, just really, really just irritable, and just really as sad as you can be. And you got to sit there and talk and answer and interact. Like, that's a lot of energy that's being taken up. And on top of that, it's a lot of it's just too much for somebody with depression. So don't take it personal. They'll be back. Usually I bounce back, always bounce back, and I'm back to my old, my jippery, happy, smiley, fun, social butterfly self. But if I go ghost, or if your friend or your spouse or your family member goes ghost, don't take it personal. It's nothing against you. It's just what we're going through. It's just the disease process. That's the symptom. So Hey guys. So I'm finally home and yeah, so I just basically had sent the slides of what depression looks like, to my lawyer. I just showed y'all what I sent to him a while back. Depression doesn't have a look, and if you look at those pictures, it doesn't. Where I'm at mentally right now, I'm actually in a good space. And like I said, I just kind of have energy. My energy's a little drained, but um, yeah, people like the day before they could be kayaking, you know, to the mall, doing all types of cool stuff, and then the next day they hang themselves, and you're like, well, what happened? Well, that's because depression doesn't have a face. I could be beautiful and I could get dressed up like the girl, you know 3 p.m. she basically was smiling. 3:15 p.m. had a whole panic attack and was bawling. And she showed pictures of her kind of messy from depression, but then like right next to it you see a picture where she's all dressed up and beautiful. She's still depressed at that time, but you don't know that because depression doesn't have a look. It's up here. It's a mood disorder. It's not you know a um a visible disorder. It's something that is going on in your mind. And so you can look really messy and unkept, and then sometimes you can step out and look bomb and still be depressed and commit suicide the next day. Thankfully, I have no desire to commit suicide because I actually love my life. I just deal with a condition that other people deal with, just how other people would deal with cancer, diabetes, blood pressure, all types of different things, arthritis. My flaw and my imperfection is depression, but I'm not, you know, thankfully, I have no desire to do anything. So, but if you were to have a desire, please just remember not to ever, please don't make a permanent decision based on temporary feelings, because usually the depression lifts up. It usually it's like a up and down kind of thing. Like you'll probably go 6 months, a year feeling great because your meds are working. And then, you go through this depressive episode. While you're going through this depressive episode that does not last, it always lifts. It may take a couple of months, it may take a week, it may take a year, who knows? But when it lifts, it's going to lift, period. It's going to lift. So if you make the permanent decision of suicide and it's like the next week, who knows, you would have lifted and you would have been, back to your regular self. Basically you just gave up the fight and the battle. And I mean, it's not easy, but just remember that once you're gone, that's it. And it may feel good at the moment to feel like I can go to sleep and never wake up and not feel pain, but you can do that while alive. You can do things proactively, like therapy and doctor's visits and trying medications and switching them out, making sure that you find the right one to help you with this so that you can experience being alive and happy while alive. You know what I'm saying? So your life is precious, and there's a whole suicide hotline. If you want to talk to somebody, don't make a permanent decision based on temporary feelings. It's a mood. It's a temporary mood. And by next week, next month, 2 months, whatever, you'll be up again. You know what I'm saying? That's what life is. But, there's a hope. One day, God will remove everything like sickness, death, all of that. Revelations 21:3-4 tells us, and death will be no more, mourning, no more outcry, no more pain, no more, anything. No more death, no more mourning, no more outcry, no more pain. And it says specifically that God will wipe all the tears from your eyes. So Revelations 21:3-4 is a good scripture to look at. So you can maintain your hope and know that, he's going to fix it. You just have to be patient. And while you're here on earth, you stay close to him in prayer and ask him for Holy Spirit, which is the power beyond what is normal, which is power that you can't even fathom. Ask him for that energy so that you can have the strength to get up and do what you have to do for the day. And, don't isolate yourself. Preserve your energy, but, if you get a text of encouragement, text back. You may receive some encouraging words that make you smile, like the one I received while I was in Dollar General just now. So yeah, life is a journey. It's a journey, and I've determined to never give up on myself, because I honestly love myself. And just because I temporarily am in a mood, or I'm in a mood kind of, my mind is really like not really feeling how it's supposed to feel, that doesn't take away the deep self-love and the love that I have for God. It doesn't change that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I did something to myself, or if you did something to yourself, you would break not only your family's hearts and your friends' hearts, but you would break God's heart, because he created you to live, not to die. That's why Revelations 21:3-4 says, and death will be no more. He's going to abolish all of that. He's going to take away all of that, what we see one day. And so for you to kind of, and I say this compassionately, to think to give up, it's kind of like, God and all the angels are like, dang, she was almost there. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to almost be there and just give up. Never give up on yourself. Find a hobby that you like, stay in the scriptures and apply them, and stay close to friends that love you, stay close to people who love you, that encourage you, and rest, because you need your energy. And don't ignore how you feel. If you feel just not right, go see a psychiatrist and just check it out. You don't have to suffer. A lot of people choose to suffer, and it's like, why? You know what I'm saying? Why? I take 2 pills twice a day for depression, and then I take 3 pills 3 times a day for anxiety. And they work, but like I said, these meds are not cures. They manage the condition. So you will maybe, like, after like maybe a year or a couple of months of feeling great, you probably go through a week of like feeling, down, but then you re-up. That's why I say never make a permanent decision based on temporary feelings, because it's always temporary. It's a mood. Your mood changes all the time. So yeah, if I don't leave you guys with anything, at least I can leave you with this. You're loved and you matter. And depression tends to make you feel worthless and hopeless. And whatever feelings of insecurities you already have, depression tends to magnify it, make it bigger than, it's supposed to be. And also remember, your enemy, the devil, when you are down, he uses that opportunity to make sure to keep you down. So just try to just know that you are loved. You're not worthless. You're not hopeless. Why did Christ die? If you were worthless and hopeless, he wouldn't have given his life for you and your sins. So you matter, because someone found you so worth it that he gave his life for you so that you may live. So if Christ died for us to live, why take your life away? That's like spitting on all the pain he went through to make sure for you to live. So it's like a slap in the face. Like, I died for this girl and she's going to go and take her own life. Didn't I die for her to live? What was the point of me being on that stake then? You know what I mean? So just think of things from that perspective, and do not submit to it. Just do what you can, get up, hygiene, and don't do too much where you're like draining yourself of energy, but do what is important, and then whatever can wait waits. You know what I'm saying? Just to make sure you don't like eradicate all your energy, because when you're low of energy, you need it for other things. So I can say I'm thankful and blessed that I have a God that's never ever far from me but near me. He shows me every day, like today, that he understands me and that he gets me and that he supports me. And I've been dealing with this for 27. I'm 27 years old, and I've kind of mastered. Now I know who I am, and I accept my flaws and my imperfections, and I just know how to deal with them, and I know how to manage them. And you'll get there too. Just educate yourself constantly. Go to the doctor, educate yourself, learn your symptoms, learn your triggers, like what triggers a depressive episode, what happened, what made you just kind of flatline, what happened. Pay attention to like your symptoms. If you want to isolate yourself, if you want to like not get out of bed, that's when you get out of bed. That's when you at least go out one time, just to get some air and sun. And just pay close attention to yourself, and you'll be able to deal with it and live with it, and be happy, no matter what. So that's what I would impart to you guys today. And girl, I gotta take a nap, because adults, like, I think napping is very healthy for adults. Like, I don't like, lately I haven't been liking taking naps, but I remember when I first got on my meds, like I was napping like every day at a certain time. It was so good. But now it's like I don't want to nap. I want to stay up and do things, you know what I mean? But I might take a nap. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe will. Sometimes I fall asleep. Sometimes I don't. But when I do fall asleep, I'm refreshed. I feel very refreshed and rejuvenated. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And then I just go about my day. But yeah, comment down below, and if you have any questions, just feel free to just hit me up, and I will definitely answer everything that you want to know. Just know you are loved, and don't ever make a permanent decision to temporary feelings, because you'll regret it. Although you won't know that you did it, like you'll be asleep, dead, but let's not ever take it that far. You know what I'm saying? Because it'll be a big mistake, guaranteed. So just think, and it's temporary. It's temporary. It's temporary. It's going to get better. You know what I mean? I'm not without hope. That's how you have to think. So, all right, guys. Yeah.